for the home team. This was for the home team.
Hey, welcome to Tailgate Beers. Ryan and Austin here as usual. Tonight we have a special episode, a post-show episode, which is the first time here on Tailgate Beers. First time that we've had somebody sit down with us after they got off stage here at Crusens in West Peoria, Farmington Road. So let's welcome Spencer Crandall.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Got
I'm
it.
honored to be the first
got it.
offstage guest. That's kind of cool.
It is. So
Still-
probably a little sweaty, a little like offstage.
sweaty.
Leather's sticking to the shirt.
Yeah. But no, we appreciate you sitting down with us, and especially as
course,
you're just
man.
coming off stage, and I'm sure you want to go relax and eat something or go
I
watch Cooper
got
Allen.
tons of adrenaline, so now's the time to ask me all the hard-hitting questions.
Yes.
Did you eat
Not
here
yet.
today at Crusens?
Uh-uh.
Or
I don't. Usually I have like a big breakfast and kind of like a later lunch, and then I don't eat till like after the show because I get like, this might sound weird, but like you don't want to get burpy
yeah.
on
Yeah.
stage.
So what's your after show meal look like?
If I'm being a good boy or if I'm being a bad boy, that's the question. Because I'm trying to eat healthy.
Yeah,
So
we
like,
all are.
I know, but like it's so hard, especially on the road. You guys have great food, and I'm like, man, I should get.
So what's a good boy meal?
I'll do like a protein shake and like, I don't know. It just depends on where we are and what we're around. Sometimes it's like literally all that's open is Taco Bell, so that's where it's just like, oh no, I guess I have to eat that. If I'm being a good boy, I bring stuff from home. I'll bring like protein shakes, protein bars.
So you don't just eat like we have grilled chicken. You have all these different options.
Yeah,
that you
I would
can
totally
get.
do
Like
that.
what?
Like on your guys' menu, if I'm being a good boy, again, said good boy a lot. Like grilled chicken,
Wings.
a salad. Yeah, maybe some wings aren't terrible. It's like mostly protein.
So what have you ordered right now?
I don't know. I can't decide if
You
I'm
haven't
gonna be good
ordered
or
anything
bad.
yet? Let's get this order put in.
Yeah. Jordan calling
I
it.
mean, we got.
We'll
so-
see how this pod goes.
Yeah. So Ducks. I mean, Ducks has. I order shrimp a lot because I've been trying to be
like
a
shrimp.
good boy also.
Yep.
If we're gonna keep hammering that.
But it is
topic.
a breaded shrimp.
No, I do grilled.
Oh, do you?
I do the
Good
grilled.
for you.
And then I love getting the burger over there. What do we get?
Aioli.
The aioli burger, no bun.
Bacon and aioli.
So
No
bacon
bun.
aioli
See,
burger,
that's
no
usually that's kind of like how I can meet in the middle.
Yeah.
I'll do like a slightly unhealthy, but then make like two good choices, like no fries, no bun.
bun. Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I go
You
to
check
bed.
a couple boxes off.
Yeah, I go to bed like at even.
So at Crusens, and they can do it over there. Both are great. I love getting I don't know. I love chicken. So I always get
Same.
just give me some grilled chicken, no sauce, no nothing.
Yeah.
Just give me some grilled chicken, and I'm
do
pretty
that
good
a
with
lot.
Their
I do that a
salads are
lot.
really good. They're very. I mean, it's a massive salad. So
Okay, I
You
have a
feel
lot
like-
to think about.
yeah, if you feel like ordering, we can put it in right now. Be ready
Well,
for
that's
it.
too much
but
pressure on the pod. I can't.
We've
can't
never
have
put
the
an
world
order
know.
in. We've never tried to call an order in on
Our
the pod,
first
but-
ever.
So I mentioned to you off camera earlier tonight
Yeah.
that I've watched a few podcasts of yours today just in preparation, just in case we were able to sit down with
Yeah.
you tonight. And I've got so many questions and so many conversations. I'm so impressed with how you handle yourself, both with your past, your history, but then, how you've moved forward. And I'll be honest, I've never sent in my research. I do a lot of research, like creepy,
Yeah.
almost like they're like, really? That's, you dug
Gotta be
that deep
prepared.
kind of thing.
He
yeah.
easily knows the last four of your soch.
I'm
Oh,
getting
sick.
close. But I've never actually shared with Austin like a podcast and be like, hey, go watch this, because it's, to me, it was just that, I don't know, impressive,
That's awesome,
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But your podcast with Patrick, shout out to him. He did a hell of a job in
crushed it.
in doing that podcast. And there's so many questions I want to ask, and we won't probably get to half of them. But going through your story, and in that podcast, I mean, there was very little to do with music. It was mostly about what you have gone through, and I'm gonna start tearing up now just thinking about that, and I'm gonna have to deflect here in a second, honestly, because what you have gone through, what you have seen, and what you have dealt with in life, but then how you handle yourself through that, or how you've handled yourself, and how you talk about it, to me is just nothing less than a miracle.
Oh, thanks, man. That is very sweet and very kind. Yeah, look, we all have our stuff. I feel like we got into some sobriety stuff on that podcast, which is crazy. Hitting 8 years sober this week, which is wild.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. And just, yeah, I mean, there are certain interviews where you get to those places, and other times, like, it's all like, what are you ordering for dinner? And I'm both guys. So it was fun. It was a good combo, and I appreciate what you just said. That means a lot, because there's so many times you do an interview or you put out a song, and you're like, does anybody care? Does anybody listen to half of this stuff? And there's so much noise. So it is cool to hear, like, no, dude, I listened and I sent it to a friend. Like, that makes everything worth it. So I appreciate that a lot.
Absolutely.
And we sit here with, Tailgate and Tall Boys, Tailgate Beers, White Oak Brew.
Yeah.
Our sponsors are this. And, I was texting Ryan today even about it. And, we've had, I don't know, 5 to 10 people on here that, again, don't drink. And it's something that for us, it's all about everybody's story of whether it was military, whether it's your music career, whether it's your drinking, whether it's you're a partier, whether you're somebody coming out of sobriety. Like, everybody has a different story. And to me, I never want to turn people off of, like, I don't remember who we were talking to. We were like, hey man, you want to come on? And we want to do this podcast doing this intro. And they're like, well, I would love to, but, like, I don't even drink. And I'm like, well, I know it's called
way
tailgate.
more about the conversation.
I know it's called Tailgate Beers, and now I feel bad, but I'm like,
nah.
But then,
look,
then we have people on, and
everybody can handle it differently.
Yeah.
I have friends, they can have a drink every single night. It does not affect them. They go to work, they can work out, they can do all the things. It affected me. I started drinking at 12 years old. I drank from like 12 to 22. I drank way too much, and I just got to a point where it wasn't right for me. But I love that it's right for other people. I'm literally in the business of throwing parties.
Oh,
I
the
just
business.
was a part of a party in there, right?
Yeah.
So I want people to get drunk who want to get drunk. And then if people don't want to, that's fine. I love an NA beer. I drink an NA beer almost like every night in my hot tub or like watching a game or whatever. I miss drinking in a lot of ways. I can be around it as much as anybody. People always, very kindly are like, hey, can we bring a beer over to watch the game? I'm like, dude, of course. I actually have alcohol like in my house from parties and stuff. I feel very removed from like the struggles of, like itching to drink or whatever. So you guys are very kind. Yeah, it's like I said, 8 years next week. So feel really good. And it's not like I had some like wake up in a ditch moment or anything. It just wasn't for me anymore. I did it for a decade, 12 to 22. And then for me, I'm such a all in or all out guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I could feel myself going all in and was like, okay, if I keep going this route, I'm very extreme. Like, I told my dad, I want to play football. So then every day I'm going to lifts and we get a trainer and we do all the things and I get to go play in college. Like, it's very rare I do something half-assed, which is a great strength, but it's also my kryptonite.
yeah.
When I'm really into something, and when I dove into it, I think so much more of it was about trying to get people to like me by being a kind of person that would drink a ton and that would be the rowdiest friend that you have. And then on the other side of that, I gave up drinking and found out that's not why people like me. People like me for other reasons. And I rebuilt my self-esteem with something else, and now I feel great about it. I don't need to go back. And
it's an interesting test, though, and I'd even compare it to, okay, what if you stop making music and people were like, well, now we're not really your friend?
Totally, man. And what's
Like,
really
you're not
sad is like sometimes I believe that. Sometimes I really believe, if I was in music, these people wouldn't text me.
And you could say it. You could say it about so many different things,
dude.
So I didn't drink.
Mine's weird and specific, but like it's for everyone. If I didn't make this money, or if I don't go to the gym enough, or we all have something like that.
Everybody has something. It's a normal thing. So for me, who Ryan can contest to this, that because of the business I'm in, and honestly just my personality, I respect everything you do. I am probably polar opposite in the fact that most people would identify as, me and Wayne can throw a party. Like, I can go out and I can drink with the best of anybody.
Sure.
But I went like 45 days, at least try to do it once a year, but I did like 45 days, no drinking. And it was kind of weird in the fact of like, yeah, man, I'm honestly actually I'm pretty fine. And I do it a lot for me. But at the same time, it is interesting of like, what, can we just not hang out just because I'm not? And then I go through these this whole progression of, are we only friends because I am drinking? Is it like,
yeah, dude, I lost so many friends. I lived in an apartment complex. I lived on this floor with a bunch of people. And I didn't tell anybody I was like sober. And I really didn't even try to be like fully sober. I was like, I'm going to take a month, kind of like you said, month, 45 days. And I just felt way better and felt like I needed to like just stay doing that. And all of a sudden, I hung out with these people every night. Because we were going out 5 nights a week. And all of a sudden it's, I'm going to stay in. And then I haven't seen half these people in so long. They're lovely people. But I realized, this is a group of people who do something together. But maybe outside of that, we aren't as like good of friends as
you don't
I
have
thought.
that deep connection of
Correct.
everything
And
else.
so then all of a sudden you're losing not only like your outlet of stress or your identity of being the party person, you're losing all that, and you're also like losing friends. And you're also, it's just kind of this thing that it can be very heavy for a lot of people who give it up. And I'm really lucky. I have a great family. I have other awesome friends who were like, I've got a buddy, Scott. He's never drank a day in his life. So he's like, come hang out with me.
Ever?
Never.
Ever.
Not one day. Not one drink. Not one blunt. Nothing.
Is this
good cup of coffee.
Nickname like Jesus or like what's?
Nope.
So
Scott Porter.
I've heard the analogy, and going back to the other podcasts that I watched today, I've heard the analogy of watering friendships, watering relationships, and letting some go and not watering them versus watering the ones that matter, or watering the ones that are in the same path or the same thing that you're into, or where you're going, or what your plans and goals are. To me, that was just an amazing kind of analogy to think about. But you also mentioned on there too that sometimes that's even blood. Sometimes that's even people that are the closest to you, that you've known for all of your life.
Yep.
And that it just was kind of eye-opening as far as that is concerned.
Yeah, I have great parents. I've got 3 siblings. My older brother struggled with substances and stuff his whole life and been in and out of rehab. And, there's been times where like we didn't talk for like a year. Like we weren't super close, and we're trying to mend a lot of that stuff. And like, that takes a lot. Like it is a tough relationship at times. But I freaking love the guy, and he's my brother, and you want to make it work. So you put in the work, but you only have so much water in your watering can. And you also, I think if you're going to extend this analogy, you have to remember to water your own stuff. Because it's so easy to be like, okay, music, my physical appearance, I got to call my mom, and then I got to do this. And, there's a bunch of stuff to do around the house, and you're just out of water. And you're wondering, I'm so burnt out. I don't have any growth. I feel so starved for like soul points and nutrients. And you're like, oh, no shit. I only water these things, and I don't even take time for myself. It's crazy.
So crazy you use that watering analogy, because I don't know where you heard it from, but I use that so many times because I went through a phase where, again, I only have so much to give.
Yep.
I only have so much to give. And we all felt that with friends, where I'm trying to make Ryan happy, and I'm trying to do this, and I'm trying to, again, going back to all the other people. And I've literally given a drop and 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 a drop. And yet we're such great friends, but I've only given him a drop. But yeah, I give all this to people that are
It's the worst
false
feeling,
or in the moment or all this stuff. And it's been a battle I've felt since I was in my younger 20s.
Yep.
I'm like, where do I give it? And it's so funny to use that water analogy, and I've never heard anybody else give it, but it's so true. And I've never heard anybody say watering yourself.
Got to.
Because you're watering all the other plants, and by the way, you're
amount,
drying
right?
up yourself.
You're shriveling up, and in my 20s, I think I really wanted to water things that I thought were cool, or that I thought I think the cool flip. I just turned 30 and I'm like, oh, I don't need this. I don't need this person. It's with nothing but love. It's actually like a version of self-love, is to go, I actually have to cut out, like, yeah, that's not me. Cool. People want to do that. That's awesome. That's just not me. I have a finite amount of water. And when I get to the end of a week where I allocate that water to the correct places and I am just like thriving, there's not a better feeling. And you know what? It's tough. You have to make sacrifices. It comes with sacrifices.
Even just comes down to a budget.
Yeah,
Hey,
truly.
You get X amount of friends. You get X amount of
Family,
you
job,
get X amount
kids.
of give a fuck dollars or whatever it is.
Yep.
You get X amount of me dollars.
Yep.
And I'm going to
And
give
so your
you
strength,
a dollar and
or
you
your
a dollar.
circle strengths, and it's again with nothing but love. It's like, oh, maybe I don't need 85 acquaintances. Maybe I need 8 people who would drop anything at 3 a.m. and drive to my house.
Oh my gosh.
Let's water that. Let's go deeper there, because these people, again, you stop drinking, all of a sudden it's like, it's crazy. I haven't talked to you in 7 years.
I have family and I have friends that him and I have had a deep conversation on this of, again, you have blood, but then I have friends, I have people. I mean, I could call my stepdad up right now. I've used this analogy of, I could call my stepdad up. He's in Branson, Missouri, 8 hours away.
Yep.
I could call him up right now. Be like, Dave, I need $10,000 cash, a 5-gallon bucket, some rubber gloves, and 10 foot of rope.
All right, cool. I'll
And
walk.
He would be like, I am on my
shovel.
fucking way, and I won't
Yep.
tell your mom.
Yep.
And
My parents are in France right now. They would swim. They figured it out.
Yes, but that's him, and I have friends that were like Ryan, and we, my girlfriend booked our cars to get oil changes on the same damn day in the same 30 minutes, which I'm like, I don't even know what you were doing. Okay. But what's nuts is I asked Ryan was gracious enough to say, I will come get you guys. And then he was going to be with his kids. They had games. And then I'm like, oh, we'll walk. And then it ended up being colder than I thought. More of the story, we're there and they're all saying it'll be 3 hours. And I'm 3 miles from my house. Pick up the phone, call one of our guy friends in our group.
Yeah.
Yep. I'll be up there in 5 minutes, pick you up, drive you home, dropped us off, and then said, hey, I got to run some errands. When you guys are ready,
Take you back.
call my wife. She'll come get you, take you up there. And to me, my girlfriend Macaulay was like, you have such a great friend group. Do you have people that can do that? And so
But
I
you
think,
watered that. Like that, you got to take a second and go, sick.
but how
That's-
many times have you thought and been in that situation, been like, I don't water that enough. I don't spend enough time
That's the worst
telling
feeling
that
in the world.
person
Yeah.
that would die for me to literally, I don't. And I like, that means a lot in the sense of you don't water it enough. Like you don't call that person up enough to go, what's going on? How's this going? How are you doing? What's happening?
Yep.
But yeah, you take those for granted because you got to spend time worrying about watering the people that you're trying to even.
I know.
You get what I'm saying? It's a weird thing.
It's
It's
really
weird
hard
that we bring
thing
up
to
the
balance.
watering part.
It's really hard to balance. I think all three of us are business-minded people, and I think if I'm just being super honest, I replaced maybe some alcoholism with workaholism because one on paper is good. It makes me money. It helps me get my music.
Can be just
Dude,
as bad.
it can be much worse.
Yeah.
And so if at the end of the last headline tour I did, on paper is the coolest, best year of my life. 2 highway number ones, Opry debut, selling 15,000 tickets on a headlining tour. Boom, boom, boom. I was miserable. I was miserable. I had no water. I was dying. Like
You've
felt
given
like
it
I
all
was
to
dying.
everything else.
Everything. I hadn't been on a date. I went to the grocery store 3 times that whole year. And I was roasted. And
do you find dates at the grocery store? Or is that where? Why?
No.
Why did you put those two
Maybe
together real quick?
Hadn't been on a date,
What?
comma.
I was like, is that where we?
Just like weird things I'm thinking of, like, oh, I didn't water like my physical health. I didn't water my romantic relationships. And so it's a bitch too, because in a lot of ways you can't just like pour water on something and overnight it's like it's like, okay, I gotta spend 6 months.
But again, that goes
Going
back
on
to
first
good
dates.
friends. Those good friends that have been there for you, and you're like, hey, I'm at water. Hey, I'm here. I'm here to hang out. Hello.
If you're lucky enough, you have people in your life that water themselves and they don't need all your water all the time, and they're like, I'm here for you.
Well,
I'm good.
Here's how I'll spin it, and this is how I feel with our friend group. While I'm busy watering all the other things, I think some of my friends are probably watering me. Like they're literally
You
giving
are so
me.
lucky. How lucky are all of us to have anyone in our lives that takes any of their spare water? They do not have to.
No, but I think that even when I'm
beautiful.
not looking, I actually think some of my good friends are
Oh yeah.
are sprinkling.
That's my
We have
mom.
we have
That's my
we have a
yeah.
friend that's in a group text. We are in a date. You probably have one. A day-to-day group text of your friends. If you're not in one, we can add you to one. You won't
I have
like
too
it.
many group texts
Okay.
actually. I'm
So
good.
we have a group text. Our buddy is from fucking North
Carolina.
Carolina. He is not here at all. And we are in a group text. Hey, what are we doing tonight? What are you guys doing? Are we going to watch the game? Are we going to watch Spencer? He doesn't live here. He is in this group text, and he is one of the best contributors to the whole thing. But he
'Cause he
loves
loves you
being a
guys.
part of it. And I'm telling you again, right now, we can call up Uncle Co right now and go, hey, man,
Absolutely.
we're in a pickle. And he's like, I'm catching the first flight.
That's awesome.
And so, no, it's good. But
Surfside's got real vodka, real iced tea, and real lemonade. You know what's not real? That excuse you gave to skip the tailgate. Grab a Surfside and redeem yourself, champ. Now back to your regular programming.
So I know we've been
We
very
got off.
deep, and
we got deep quick.
yeah,
I love
but
it. I usually do that.
there's one other analogy that I just want to briefly touch on, and I do want to touch on music and talk about everything you have going on musically and as an artist. But at the end of the podcast we watched today with Patrick, or I watched today, one of the final questions was, what final advice or what kind of takeaway or whatever the question was, and I'm paraphrasing here, and you talked about the self-love, and we kind of mentioned it already, but you gave the analogy of watching a baby trying to walk for the first time. Nobody is saying, what the fuck? Why can't you take off running?
Nope.
Why can't you stand up and walk? Why can't you put one foot in front of the other to a 1-year-old? And it's the same thought process for us individually, as we should be thinking about ourselves, giving ourselves that much room for expansion, for growth,
Absolutely.
for learning something. I'm 45 years old. You're 35, 36,
31.
Just turned 30.
30.
Oh,
You know,
I
this-
thought- turning 31 this year.
Yeah, turning
This
30.
this is all our first time around on
dude,
this earth.
I'm
And so
sure
we're all
at
learning.
45, 36, 30, we all thought we'd have it figured out. And I don't. I mean, I'm not even close, but I'm trying stuff. And the version of self-love that I try to tap into, that I think you're referencing, is this form of like deep, deep, deep grace. Like asking yourself, like, how could I know that? Of course, I don't know. I've never done this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially with music stuff. I'm like, I've never been 30 with this many streams and no label. And like, so I'm going to be pretty gentle with myself. And instead of beating myself up, that's already going to happen from the world and the internet or people throwing tomatoes at you on stage. Instead, I'm going to be the person in my life that hopefully loves me the most, because I'm the only person I have to spend my whole life with, no matter what.
Facts.
That's it. The worst, saddest thing that I see in friends, family, is people who like genuinely don't like themselves. That sucks, man.
So you live
And-
in your head every
yeah,
day.
dude. What a horrible place to be, having this voice. You're no good. You're not good enough. Look, do I believe that I am God's gift to the world? No. I have a lot of stuff I want to get better at. I don't want to keep falling into these cycles. But what good is it to sit there and beat myself up? I know what I did is wrong. I can get up and I can try again. There's no rules. The whole game's made up. There's no such thing as a timeline.
But I still even think, whether it's you saying you're going through, and I don't know why I think this, it's either you going through the game of Jumanji or you reading a book. Like, you really don't know what's coming next. You're on this page, you're in this move, like right now. That's all you know. When you're reading a book, you don't know what's happening in the next chapter. You're sitting there reading, ready to go to the next page. But when you flip that page over, you have no idea. And life is the same exact way. You have no idea what chapter you're about to turn because you're writing it as it's happening. And those pages are being laid out literally as it happens.
And in hindsight, you can look back and go, "Oh, not my best," or whatever. But
you don't know.
No, and the baby thing is like kind of funny or like quirky to think of, but when you really like go hang out around babies, and very quickly be like, "Oh, I mean, like they're fine. Like even if they mess up, like you're good. Like we're trying to walk. No one's being like, come on,
judging you.
Yeah,
right.
We're just all big old babies waddling around. We have more money. We have car keys, whatever. A lot of us, this is like, and this doesn't excuse shitty behavior. If you're doing something on purpose over and over, you got to look at yourself in the mirror. But if for the first time you trip and you stumble, you're like, what was that? And you get smacked in the face. You already got hurt by getting smacked in the face, by life, by that person. It's not going to help you to sit there and loathe yourself or live in regret. You can't change it. So it's just no good. And for myself, at least, I literally practice talking to a child version of myself all the time. Oh, dude, I know why that would scare you.
You just stare in the mirror and just say,
it's
precious,
just more
precious,
pretty bird.
Precious.
It's more.
I want
just
you to
this,
know.
Like, I wrote a song one time called 7 and 70, and it's like the only people I'm trying to impress are me at 7 and 70, and it's like I want my, because we have all these things from childhood that you kind of like drag around with you, and the more you can kind of show your like little kid self, like you're safe, you're good. That person, they can't hurt you. They're not around. Like, you're good. There's these big bad wolves in your head. Either don't exist or you have the tools to fight them. So you're good. Why are you stressing out? And I think if you can like convince your own self of that, at least for me, my anxiety plummets.
That's crazy. We got deep very quickly.
So a quick turn of the deep. So I have seen, and it was on the same podcast, so I won't lie, that at a very early age you got into clowns.
Yeah.
And,
Had a weird
whoa.
Yeah.
What do you mean got into clowns?
He can tell the story, but he was actually like in like a clown school almost, like learning.
It was
to
like
be a clown.
before school program. It's not like I was like going to, Harvard.
How old were you?
I was like 10.
A before school program.
Hear me
with
out.
clowns.
It's not creepy. It's not creepy, I promise.
Sounds very creepy.
There was an art teacher. He was like a world-renowned clown. He was like in Barnum and Bailey, like legit. And they just wanted chaperones to like have people hang out before school. And there's a bunch of other adults there as well. And he's like, hey, like, I don't know if this sounds fun to anybody, but in my little station, people are like, oh, coloring, whatever. I'm going to teach kids how to like juggle and stuff. And so I went one time with my buddy. And I was like, this is sick. And then we just got a bunch of my friends to start coming. And so we like called it the Clown Club, and we would show up, and I learned how to unicycle and juggle, and I could do all this crazy stuff.
This was happening at school?
Yeah, like 30 minutes before school. Some parents get to work.
But like a
different
teacher
times.
was teaching this?
Yeah. Okay. Mr. Goldman. Shout out Mr. Goldman. Taught me how to shade. Taught me how to ride a unicycle.
Okay.
It's kind of sick. And I did like a...
It's fucked up that in the world we live in...
I know, that's why I always had to preface, like,
there
was no molestation.
In the world we lived in, I have stories I could tell that if I said it in today's terms, people be like, whoa, that's weird.
Yeah, none of that. It was
That's
literally
weird.
just a before school, like 10 other adults in the room. But super cool, learned how to unicycle, and then did this like little kid's birthday party. These people at the school were like, hey, you guys are actually kind of good. Like, come do this. So I made like $15. So I was kind of lie and say my first job was as a birthday party clown.
So something you don't know about me, something we can go ahead and go on. So my grandfather was a Shriner. So I grew up going to circuses, going to clown competitions,
Really?
Awesome.
and he would compete against other clowns in his category. And at the end of the day, most of them were all drunks. But
So my thing to
it
offer.
was wild because while they were doing that shit, I was like at the booths, like I could buy this magic trick. I want to buy this magic trick. I would like to do this. And I was all about magic.
Oh, yeah.
So my thing to offer the conversation is that I've been on the Bozo Show, WGN, the Bozo Show.
Come on.
I was on the Bozo Show. I met Bozo. I have pictures with Bozo and Cookie, who was the other clown. I wasn't chosen for the grand prize or whatever.
Do you think you have like a deep down, like you just want to be on like a main talk show? Is that why this podcast came about? Because you didn't make Bozo Show. You didn't make Regis and Kelly.
This is about Spencer. This isn't about Ryan right now.
Okay, I'm just asking because this is starting to like really come about. He actually tried out for Regis and Kelly before it was like Ryan and Kelly.
Whoa.
When Regis was retiring.
Yeah.
I
So,
put my name in the hat.
He's been on Bozo. He's been on Regis. I don't know how many other
Chicago
talk shows.
Fire, Chicago Med. I've been on both of those.
Sick.
Yeah.
That's
Kind
awesome.
of I mean, like I said, I think he's got kind of like
John Goodman. I've been on a couple of his movies.
That's
See?
awesome.
So it gets deeper where I'm like,
That's pretty sick.
I guarantee you if I dig deep enough, he's probably been on Price is Right. He's been on a few
Yeah.
late night shows.
Maybe. one
Were
or
you
two.
the main replacement for Ellen or Oprah or anyone?
I can only hope.
Can only
I can only
imagine.
wish for that.
I used to have a podcast. I mean, it's fun, man. I love podcasting.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Your own, like, what was
Yeah.
it called?
It's called Why Are We Here? And it got very deep.
So why don't you do it anymore?
Time. I just have so many jobs, and like I get home from the road, I'm just so roasted, and my
What was, like-
conversations were taking a hit because I'm so busy.
When was the last time you did it?
2 years ago. Super fun, but it's a ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it takes a lot of
It's not a
investment.
revenue generator.
No. Like you have to sell a ton of ads and you have to promote the shit out of it. And for me, I promote my music so much that like it felt weird to like promote. Hey, and here's a podcast and here's so
Yeah.
I would like to do it again in my life.
We never
I think
promote.
I will.
We're always.
We never promote our good friends.
We don't ever promote.
Well, why wouldn't you promote your
We
good friends
never
at White Oak
promote
Brewing? Like the
Surfside.
brand new Rip and Lips IPA that has a hazy after.
Yeah.
We've never once.
Shameless.
So oddly enough, for the creeper that I am, I told him earlier that I watched one of his podcasts. So I knew that.
Ryan does so much research.
He did one with the three guys. It was four of you together.
Yeah.
That and I forgot already, but the name of the song that you released, Made.
Yeah.
They released a song, and the three guys that co-wrote that with him. That's one I watched today. But no, it was very lively. You were a very lively host.
Thanks,
and
Tried.
talking to them.
It's
and,
tough.
And yeah, no, and even them. I mean, three songwriters, not necessarily podcast or forward facing type of personalities. Yeah, no, you brought it out of them and
Thanks, man.
held good
It's
conversation.
tough. I mean, you guys are doing a great job, but you gotta like steer a ship. It's kind of like this. You guys know it. There's like an art to it, and you
I don't know
gotta.
if there's an art.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure it out.
We
Stuff.
haven't
We have
figured out
people
any
telling
art
us
yet.
we're doing it fucking wrong. They're like, dude, Austin, why do you do this? I'm like, I don't know. I'm just trying to be
no.
me. I'm like, I'm trying not to.
You guys
fidget.
crushed it.
I'm like at the end of the day, I'm like, fuck it. I'm like, I'm just trying to be myself. I don't know. I don't know why I sit like this. I don't know why I talk like this.
That's all you can
I'm
do and
I'm
should
just
do.
trying to do it. But
Yep.
it's so nuts to watch a video of yourself and to do that shit and be like, I didn't know I fucking talked like that. I didn't know I fidgeted like that.
Mhm.
I didn't know there were this many gnats in the goddamn room because we had podcasts where there's a gnat flying all around the room that I'm like, why is it here right now? But I'm like, what do you want from me, man? We're trying to figure out how to edit this motherfucker. We're trying
Just be
to figure
yourself.
out.
That's
Yeah.
all you can do.
But
So I know. Just real quick, I just want to say we're about 40 minutes into the podcast here, and I know you want probably go over and relax, get something to eat.
Yeah.
So I want to be respectful, and that's my mannerism right there. I do that little cough thing. I don't know where or why it
Little
comes
throat
from.
clear.
Yeah, a little
He
throat
does it a
clear.
lot.
I do it a lot. I almost did
I've
it
come to
again, but no, I know Austin has a question here too.
I do have a question. I have a question. Before I ask my main question, I don't know. We got super deep really quick. I'm trying to like get out of that. You moved to Nashville when?
2016.
16. What's something like? What's your favorite thing when you're back home? Because you seem again, you're running a small business that you're doing all this stuff independently, mind you, that we haven't touched on at all, and I give you full props. And as somebody on the outside, I am like, man, if I'm in your boat, like I am rooting for you.
Thanks, man.
I'm cheering for you, and I know this goes against everything else we're a part of in a way. But 10 day, man, like I don't know. I keep wanting to see you crush because we live in a world that you have the business access, you have the music access, you have all these things to do it yourself. I would do it 1,000 times yourself before I would let anybody fuck with what you're doing, man. And I've never told anybody that on this podcast. We try to stay pretty neutral, but at the end of the day, man, I don't know where your journey, is taking you in the future, but I would keep doing it. If you've gotten this fucking far, man, I would do it yourself until somebody is knocking down your door.
Yeah.
And you're going, let me think about it and I'll get back to you.
Yeah, it's tough. There's
it's easier said than done.
Yeah, there's days where I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to do this independently and like I'll change the game. And there's other days I'm like, I don't want to change the game. I just want to be a part of the game. Because I watch people who get to play the festivals and get to do all the things, and a lot of times you just get handed stuff. I'm like, oh, I want to get handed something. But when you get handed something, it's not real. Like I watch people play the Grand Ole Opry all the time. I'm like, you have like 5,000 monthly listeners. That would mean nothing to me personally. Maybe that's awesome for them. When I got to play the Grand Ole Opry, they handed me a gold record. Like, that's cool. That meant something to me. And I like earning it. I like this, like, going real fan by real fan, real ticket by real ticket. And who knows what the future holds. Like, maybe I sign soon and people are like, he sold out.
But who gives a shit? You have the same opportunities. What I don't get, you have the same opportunities. So you've met me and Wayne.
Yeah.
You've met throughout being independent. You've met all the same people.
Yeah. I'm playing the rooms. Like I'm playing
what I'm getting
Stagecoach.
at-
I'm playing these things where it's like in the 90s, this couldn't have happened.
Right, but you have all the contacts.
I have the access. I've
You
met
have
everybody.
all of it.
I'm on the radio right now on XM. I don't have a label. I have 2 number ones on XM. This one, hopefully, fingers freaking crossed. We know the people. We're doing the things. At the end of the day, and I think it's going to get even more swinging in my direction, it's only going to be real people, real streams, real tickets. That's what's going to matter in the future.
I love it. And again, if you sign, no matter what you do, I just think people like yourself, like, keep doing it.
Thanks,
It's
man.
like you have all the contacts. If you got down to it, and you're like, dude, we gotta fuck it. I gotta sell some. You could start going through your Rolodex of so a Rolodex was when you would go through your contact list of paper. Okay, so dude, you could start calling everybody and go. All of a sudden, you have your whole year booked.
I know.
Because you already have all the players.
I'm very lucky.
You already know people.
And I've worked my tail off for damn near 10 years doing this. Started in my dorm room. You know, TikTok has changed my life, and it's a huge reason why I get to do stuff. But I'm super lucky, man. I like the position I'm in, and there are days where it feels like I trade with someone, and then there's most days I'm like, I like my thing.
Yeah. Well, we wish you nothing but the best.
Thanks, man.
Absolutely.
couple things that are going to really kind of. I have a couple questions that really can kind of lay the mark for our podcast. So, one, would you put pineapple on pizza?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you look when you wipe?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
What are you, a psychopath?
No. Thank you.
Agreed.
Just asking. Don't yell at me.
Jordan, do you?
You do? Jordan.
You guys
I
don't
wasn't
have to
very
answer any of
confident.
these. You don't have to answer any of these.
I just asked you, and that was not very confident. You laughed, so I felt like she's kind of like, okay. Anyways, so Jordan doesn't look, but so here's what's gonna happen.
Okay.
You're on. I would say you're probably on a. I don't know what airline do you fly the most?
Freaking was Southwest. But I'm about
All right. Well, this is gonna be very controversial for Southwest. You're on a Southwest flight. They recently cut costs. Times are rough. Every other person gets a seatbelt.
A lot of accidents.
So, plane's going down. You're on your way to your favorite island, and you happen to pack on your carry-on every album known to man.
Okay.
Southwest just so happened to give you an upgrade for like $85 for a parachute. And
Am I saving the albums with the parachutes?
you grab the parachute, and then you're fumbling around, plane's going down, the steward is telling you sit down,
Right.
asking you all these questions and stuff, but you're like, I got to get out of this thing. I'm grabbing my parachute.
What I love about this question is I think you're asking me what are the 5 albums I'd take on a desert
Yes.
island?
Yes.
What
The
5 albums
roundabout
would you
way
grab?
that we get to the
Well, the whole time the plane is going, I want to
you're
set
on a
this,
plane.
I
You
want-
ordered our Coke.
Yeah, no.
They
I
don't have
want-
ginger ale.
I want to set the stage for the plane is going down, and there's a sense
So there's
of
a lot of
urgency.
pressure. Okay.
So like we're like, I don't know what planes fly. What
When I ask the
20,000,
question,
30,
it's a lot faster.
Sure,
just
sure.
FYI.
20? What height?
30,000.
30,000 feet. So now we're already at 20 because you already asked these questions.
I already know. So
Okay.
ready to put on some parachutes.
Okay. So you have parachute on.
Yeah.
Cracking the door.
2020, Justin Timberlake.
Okay.
2020 experience. Theory of Everything, John Mayer.
Ooh.
Not everybody likes the album. My favorite. Divide, Ed Sheeran.
Mm.
Traveler, Stapleton. And then this is really tough, but like maybe 1989 or Red or one of the great Taylor Swift albums.
I like it.
Wow.
Bada boom, bada bing.
I like it. Plane didn't even hit the water yet.
Nope.
Yeah, lots of time.
Bonus would be is it Human Experience, John Bellion? Love that album.
It's a good one. So I have a John Mayer. Mine is Live in Los Angeles, in your
Great pick.
in your atmosphere.
Great pick.
It's
I listen to Free Fallin'.
but
off
when
that.
you listen to In Your Atmosphere, it's the only time he ever plays it. I don't know, that album is incredible. But Ed Sheeran too. Ed Sheeran's this never gets talked about.
Mm-mm.
You
I don't
could
know why-
argue that Ed Sheeran's Divide is one of the best albums of all
So
time.
why do you think Ed Sheeran does not? And some people might say, "Oh, Ed Sheeran gets the credit." Why do you think Ed Sheeran does not get the credit he deserves in general? In the limelight, we talked about this earlier. Artist, this motherfucker has played some of the biggest arenas, and he's got that rotating stage. Have you
Seen it.
watched those
I've
videos?
seen him live.
And he
It's
does.
incredible.
He does the
Looping.
what is it called?
Looping.
Yeah.
Looping.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
I mean, it's hard to keep him out of any top 10 of the last 30 years. I mean, if you're starting to add in Elvis or Michael Jackson stuff, but even that, like, he's selling hella records, selling crazy tickets. Like,
he's a genius.
there's probably been very few people that are bigger than him. I mean, truly, the only person I can think of that is alive that's bigger than him is Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And she's the GOAT.
So you're a Swiftie?
Yeah, big time.
I've always been.
Always.
So
And I think she's the greatest of all time.
I am not a Swiftie.
Reason?
Hold on. I am not a Swiftie. I have a 10-year-old daughter
Okay.
who went through a Swiftie phase, but now she is apparently not a Swiftie anymore because it's
Yeah.
not cool.
She'll come back.
Me personally, I am not a Swiftie. there's no Taylor Swift album I've ever been like, oh my God, this is the best album ever, blah, blah. And
Do you just like hate music or?
no. I mean, I'm talking, I have so many female albums that are like my top 10, 20 albums I love. When I started watching Taylor Swift of how she handled her business, of how she was a beast in the industry, and in the last 5 years, I feel like I became a Swiftie.
She's a bad mamma jamma. She is legit.
Yes. And again, she runs her business, her production, everything she does, the methodical thought of how she went about doing everything. To me, one, I think Morgan Wallen and some other people took the same note of, think about it. What did Taylor Swift do during a certain period of time? Taylor Swift went MIA for a while and came back bigger than ever. Why? Because people could not get access. People couldn't go see a show. People could not get what they wanted. And I truly believe that some very big artists at a certain point are like, wait a minute. So you're saying less is more. So you're saying that if I just don't give them what they want, if I only tour 10 times, 20 times a year, as opposed to 100 times a year, and then this built this whole craze where it literally, she changed the economy in cities. She changed.
Yeah, there's no one bigger.
There are cities that are like, we pivoted our whole like funding of our city based on Taylor Swift showing up.
Isn't that insane? Yeah, she's the GOAT, man.
Yeah. And so from there, I had major respect of who she was.
As long as you
savvy.
can say out loud, respect, then look, music taste is music taste. But
Oh, I love all music. Dude, I love all music. I have albums and things that I've never gotten in my truck and be like, man, I need to get that Taylor Swift album going. It's not been my drive.
I get it.
Have I been at a stoplight?
Different strokes for different folks.
Have I been
as they
jamming
say.
Katy Perry at times? Absolutely.
Of course.
I got bitch music for days. I've been at the stoplight that I'm like jamming. I'm like, I have to stop and be like,
See, you don't have to stop, brother. You don't have to
oh
stop.
no, I gotta at least stop a little bit. But no, I love all of it. But I think it's crazy the business. And then you hear about what she, tipped all of her, staff and the drivers and all
Yeah,
these
I've heard
things.
some firsthand stories. It's life changing.
And her sitting there rolling through pouring down rain, playing the
Saw her
piano.
at the rain show in Nashville.
The messed up scenes where she rolls with it, laughs it off. And because to me, when I watch an artist, and this is no offense, I know everybody's under something, but you're up there and you're performing and things will go wrong. But for you to like call out shit and to say, like, to get in this whole, like, what the fuck is happening, pissed off, for her to roll, I mean, she's got millions and millions of dollars of production. And she is, of all people, one that can go, God, fuck this. Like, I'm not doing this shit. And she laughs and rolls with it, figures it out, deals with I don't know. That's where I gained respect. So
She's a baller.
she is a baller.
She's the GOAT.
So we're here at Tailgate Beers, Crusens, West Peoria, Farmington Road. Spencer Crandall opened up tonight and put on a hell of a show.
Thanks, man.
Got a lot of good feedback and just all the praise. Again, we spent a very deep conversation with you tonight, but I loved it. I love what you stand for. I love where you're coming from, and you've got at least 4 fans that are sitting here that are cheering you on for the rest of your career.
We won't speak for you guys. But
I'm speaking for them.
I need to hear it audible yet. Oh, I'm just kidding.
I'm speaking for them.
Thank you all 4 of you guys.
And we still have to get answers out of.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, look,
concerned.
that-
right now.
But to
whole
join
nother
us,
podcast.
to join Austin and I on Tailgate Beers post show, like I said, this is the
and
first
on
post
a
show.
whim too, man. That's where I have
anytime,
so much
guys.
respect,
Thank
dude.
you for real. You guys rock.
Just
Appreciate it.
Just to sit down with us, spend some time with us. We appreciate you.
Anytime.
We appreciate it. And
I'll be back. I'll be back in the fall, I'm pretty sure. So do it again.
We'll be
Run it
watching.
back.
Do it.
We'll be
Yeah,
watching.
I mean, you just heard it here. He just said he's
Coming
coming
back.
back this fall.
Coming back.
So
Cheers,
here's the
gentlemen.
teas, by the way.
Tease.
I got a green tea. I got a green tea.
Teas, paper cup teas.
Thanks, y'all.
Green tea.